Another aspect of interpretation is determining the primary audience. And the primary audience in Matthew chapter 24, the Olivet Discourse, is the second person plural. It's you. It's the disciples to whom Jesus is speaking. You see this very early on when the disciples ask Jesus the question, when will these things be? What will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And Jesus continually directs his answer to them. He says, when you see these things, when you see the abomination of desolation, each and every time you see this audience reference, it's always the second person plural. The only time there's an audience change is in Matthew chapter 24:30, and the word they is used, and Jesus is referring to specifically the tribes. When the tribes see these things take place, when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, they know that that age is coming to an end. So the audience is very specific. If Jesus had a future audience in mind, he would have said, when they see these things, when they are taken away. But again, the audience reference is the second person plural. In the book of Revelation, you actually have two things going on. You have a time element, very similar to this generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Plus you have an audience. The time element is very clear. The very first verse says that the time is near, these things must shortly take place. At the same time, the book of Revelation is directed at 7 existing churches in Asia Minor. It's written to them. And so the time element is very clear in telling us when these things will take place. The time is near, these things must shortly take place. This occurring in the very first chapter of Revelation. Plus, we are reminded in the last chapter of Revelation that these things will take place within a very short period of time. In fact, John is told not to seal up the book because these events are about to unfold. Where Daniel, on the other hand, written 600 years before the time of Christ, is told to seal it up because it's for the time of the end. And so Revelation gives us an indication very clearly that the time is near for that first century audience, and the audience itself is very clear, and that is those 7 churches in Asia Minor, which I believe represent all of the churches in the first century during John's day.